Download it.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell that name? I forgot that name.
Which name? AnyDesk.
Yeah, any disk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Download it, but
Yeah, you will open that later when I tell you. For now, just look at
okay, I get.
what a
I got
demonstration.
it. I get it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. You were able to see?
Another. I start recording.
I have started recording.
Okay. Okay. So can I get that after that? Because I don't know. So
Yes, yes, you can get that.
okay.
Okay. And yeah, so let's get started. So what I will be doing is making a periodic array of some disk on a substrate. Okay.
Huh. Huh. Periodic array. Okay.
Yeah, it will be periodic in two dimension.
Okay.
Okay, so it is basically like a film, but it will have some structure. Okay, so let's do that. So first, okay, so first let me put the view. So I'm putting all the windows perspective view windows. Where is it? Okay. Okay, so these are the four views that we have. Let us first put the structure. So first we are putting a substrate. Okay,
Huh.
so this is a substrate. Uh, if I right click on it, I can edit the properties. Okay, so let me say that okay, this is x min is 2 micrometer minus 2 to plus 2, let's say. Okay, and y also minus 2 micron to plus 2 plus 2 and z it is okay, let me say that it starts from 0 and goes down till uh, that's 1 micron for now. Okay, this is 1 micron thick substrate. Okay, so that's all for now. What did
Substrate become very thick, right?
what
Substrate is very thick, right?
substrate should be thick. Does that
Okay.
mean this much? Wait, something mistake I have done. This is minus of 1. Now what happened? Yeah, now it is thick.
Now,
Okay,
now it's okay.
so now we'll put something on top of it. Okay,
Yes.
so let us first say that okay, this is silicon substrate. Okay, so I put silicon on it. Silicon is what I did was I did the right click and put this silicon.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another thing we can do, right? Because there is an index, so I can put that index there of silicon. So that can be thought as silicon, right? If I explicitly do not give that as silicon.
Yes, that you can do, but it changes as wavelength. Okay, and since it changes with wavelength, you cannot give input for every wavelength, right? So
Oh, okay.
the other option here is like here material. Here you are saying asking, right? Index.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so here you can give if it has like, for example, you have let's say you have a substance with constant refractive index, then in that case you can do that. Oh, okay. For example,
Okay.
DMS you will need to do that, you will put it 1.4 by hand.
Another thing, wait, just go the cursor in the material section, then where the
Yeah,
silicon is. So if sometimes there is some material, no, that, yeah, that material. So if sometimes there is some inbuilt material, platinum, rhodium, like this. So if I am taking some material which is not included in this list, so for that case, what should I do?
yeah, okay. Let me tell you that. So suppose, I will tell you that. Suppose in here, I will tell you what will happen if I want to put gallium. Okay, you do not see gallium inside. In that.
Yeah,
Okay. So let us put a sphere of gallium. Let's say instead of disk, let me do a sphere now. Okay. So suppose I'll take structure, another structure. Let me take a sphere. Okay, and I'll just reduce its height, or to make it kind of a globule thing, what I'll do is I'll make it ellipsoid, and there will be two radius, right? One radius is
yeah.
uh, the longitudinal and other is the lateral one. Okay, so the length is,
Semi-major, semi-minor.
so let me make it 40 micron and 0.40 microns, sorry, 40 nanometer, and this to be 0.60 kind of thing. So this is just a random kind of thing I'm doing. Okay, and x was, let's say, x equal to 0, y equal to 0, and z equal to also 0, and let me say apply. Okay, so now where it is right on the top of it. Okay,
Uh,
uh, I'll just make this to be 5. Yeah, this is almost a sphere, but not. Yeah. Okay, now see what happened. Radius 1, radius 2. This radius is also 0.5.
uh,
Okay, so what I did was just applied. Okay, so it is very small. This is 40 microns, whereas uh,
very small.
uh, you see. So let me edit the properties. 40, 40, radius 3 is 6, and instead of this, let me take 40 microns. Okay, or, or let me make it 5 and this to 6. Apply. Yeah, this looks almost kind of a globule kind of thing.
Uh,
Okay, so this I made.
so here one question. The question is, the thing is, some of the portion of this ellipsoid is inside the substrate, like the extrude view. So is it possible?
What? So some part is censored. Okay, no. That I'm about to say what will happen if, okay, you see this particular region, this both are overlapping, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so since these are overlapping, so the numerical doesn't know which material it is right now here. So what you do for that is you go to properties, material, And here you see there is something called mass order.
Okay.
Okay, this mass order has to be low for high priority object. So if you want numerical to identify this region as the sphere, okay,
Hmm.
then just make it lower. So let me make it 1. Okay,
Okay.
and the default value is 2. Like for example, if I will take this rectangle, edit properties of selected objects, material, then here see the default value is 2, but uh, but we want this particular region to be what? This we want to be the sphere. So this number has to be greater than that of the sphere. Do you see that?
I cannot get the whole things here because why? What is the? I mean, what is the role of mesh order for here?
Yeah, so the mass order is nothing but just a number. Okay. And what does this number say is uh, it will tell numerical that which region should I take in case of overlapping elements. Okay.
Okay.
For example, in this case, the overlapping region contains a sphere and the rectangle.
Uh,
So it will take that element in which the mass order is low.
okay. Lower mesh order is granted. Okay.
Yeah. So in this case, I have set the mass order of sphere to be 1 and the rectangle to be at 3. So
So sphere will be granted.
yeah, so that particular region will be treated as a sphere. Okay,
Okay.
wherever is that overlap. Okay, so that is about it. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to, so yeah, you see, we made the structure already.
Hmm.
Uh, Now let us put in some simulation. Okay, the
One
first,
thing.
hmm,
One thing that sphere is of which material?
yeah, that I don't know. Let's add that one. Edit properties. And okay, so I told you that let us put it to be gallium. Okay, and you don't see gallium inside in the database. So what we have to do, we import the material. Okay, so uh, how do we import? So see, we have a text file. We have a text file documents, tools, docs, gallium nanostructures. You see here, we have a text file. In this text file, there are 3 columns. Okay, so this is the first column is the wavelength in nanometers. Okay,
Okay.
the second column is the n value, and the third column is the k value.
Given.
Okay, so we are going to import this file. So this file, someone has to give it to you. Okay, some experimentalist or you get it somehow. Okay, so once you have this, you can incorporate it into your numerical database. So go to materials, then add, then what you do, sampled 3D data, then here LIQ, that's liquid gallium. Okay, and then here there is import data. It is not visible somehow, but
For my case also, it cannot be visible.
yeah. So now what you do, select file and just add that file. So doc is a gallium. Okay, here. Next, then click next again, then finish it up. Okay, now
Okay.
the database, the database we have. So again, what else we can do here? Like if we can check liquid gallium. It was some.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so let me change the color because silicon is also uh,
Great.
almost red. Let me put it blue or something. Some different color just to make it identifiable. Okay. Yeah. Now what you do? Now since we have it in our database, now we can change the material. Okay.
Okay.
Here, edit object, material, object. Okay, now we have
Okay.
the structure. Now let us see what will happen. So we are imagining, how do we imagine this? So we are imagining that this structure is evenly distributed. Like here is another. So there is a lattice of these gallium structures. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that means this gallium structure is periodically distributed in the whole surface, I mean upper surface of that silicon.
Yes. So you can explicitly simulate that one like this. Like suppose you can make a copy of this. So how do you make a copy? You just go here
Just duplicate.
and then you move it. Let's say so this is uh 50 nanometer it was, right? Let's say let me make it 100 micron, so 0.1 or 0.2, or let me say it is 0. Okay. Okay, this is too close. Edit properties. So let me say x is 0.3. Okay. Yeah, so I'm making an array of this. Hmm.
The thing is, can we make this like a vast of array? Because you are making this manually 2, 3, 4 like this. So there cannot be anything like that. That the whole structure, whole the rectangle can be put like this sphere in periodical some periodic position of this gallery.
Yeah, just look here what I'm doing. So I selected these two spheres.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
duplicated it, moved it. Now it was point 0.3. Now I will put point 0.6. Okay. So now the kind of structure that I have is, if you see this is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Uh,
Or if you select everything and like you can make 2 to the power n in just n steps. So that's not a big deal. Uh,
uh,
Duplicate it and now move it. Now move it point 0.3 on the other axis, and you see.
mm.
Hmm. So now if you want to make this will be much faster. See, just duplicated it, shifted it. Now what? Fix. So this is how you make large arrays, but we don't make this many spheres for this particular simulation. What we are going to do, we'll focus on this particular single sphere. Okay, this sphere, and we'll simulate it. We'll make periodic along x and periodic along y, so that so what we get is actually infinite array of these globules. So
Uh,
we won't look at just a single unit cell. Okay, so let us do that. So simulation add a mesh region. Okay, okay, not FTTT. Simulation add mesh. Okay, in mesh, so the see the periodicity that I choose is 300 meters. Okay,
mm, mm.
sorry, 300 nanometers.
Nanometer.
Okay, so what we do is, so if I put x min to be 0.15, that means 150 microns, and this to be 0.15. Same for here, minus 0.15, and this is point, and oh, we'll look at that later. Let us see first if it is, see, it is enclosing now the single unit cell, and if we just translate it, what we get is the entire lattice.
Uh,
Okay, so now since we have that, let us make z part a little longer. Why it is? It has to be longer. That so as a rule of thumb, just take it for granted now that not granted. You see, the detector and the source has to be far away from the substrate, right?
uh,
Isn't it?
yes.
So, yeah, so what you do is you try to put it as far as you can. So, but not that much far that your simulation won't run at all. So, what I'm doing is now I'm making Z min to be mm, minus 1 micron, and this is plus 1 micron. So, this is quite long when you see this is only some nanometers. No, no, not that long, but okay. Hope it will be sufficient. Yeah, let's see. What we have now is, yeah, quite long. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, now what we do is, let us add the simulation region also. Okay, so the mesh is edit object. We have the geometry. Uh, see, okay, just remember this. We'll just put screen settings. So the FTTD has to be less than this mesh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So added a simulation region. No, not in mesh again. Simulation region. Now right click, edit object and geometry. So put x min to be minus
0.14.
0.15.
We have to give it less than 0.15, right?
Yeah, but okay, less than or equal to it's fine.
Okay. Okay. So every time we can do that. Simulation region and mesh. Same. I mean,
Yeah,
that structure.
you can do that. I do that most of the time. Okay.
Okay.
So now see, we have this. Uh, this is thick, isn't
Yeah.
it? That is
Uh,
because the default boundary condition is the PML, or the perfectly matched layer. Okay, so it will absorb energy from the boundaries. So whatever light that falls into it, it gets perfectly absorbed. So we don't want that. What we want is, we want it to be absorbed. So let's go to the boundary conditions. We want x minimum to be periodic, so that
uh,
it extends in the x direction infinitely. The y also, let us,
I cannot hear. What
yeah,
you were saying?
yeah, I said that, okay, we make x and y to be periodic so that it extends in xy infinitely.
Uh,
Okay.
so that absorption will not occur.
Yeah, we don't want it to be absorbed in x direction, right? What we want is it get periodic. It sees the same structure in xy repeatedly over and over again,
Uh,
because it is infinite lattice in xy direction.
yes.
That is why I put this is to be x minimum to be periodic and y minimum to be periodic, and it automatically takes the maximum values to be periodic also. For
Yeah.
z we want that okay, light should go out, it should not be staying in, so I just put it periodic. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Jet, what you say?
Along that direction we don't want it to be periodic, right? You can imagine
No,
the
no,
structure
no.
not
Yeah, for jet direction there is no need of periodic.
yeah, so I have put PML layer.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is it. So I have put the periodic boundary conditions. You see now, if you see now, let me zoom it. You see, we have completely engulfed this like unit cell, and this is periodic along x and y. Okay. So now we are going.
What is that? What is that navy blue type region inside I mean FTDD and MES? No, no,
This
no.
the blue color
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that just denotes that blue color denotes the periodic boundary condition.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. It earlier it was so thick, right? That was PML. Okay, so now what we do is add sources to it and monitors to it, and then see what are we getting. So let me put a source first. Let me add a plain web source. Hmm. And
Okay. Previous day you also took plain web source.
yeah,
Oh, I see.
what did you take?
Just go there. In source position.
Hmm?
I forget. I forget the name. Just go to the source. I can tell. Yeah, total. No. Okay. Yeah, total feeds. No, 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 no. No, no, no.
This
I took. I took. No, no. I took plain web. Probably. I cannot remember now.
okay,
Yes,
okay.
I get erased.
Just take plain wave sources for now. Okay. So this is for Gaussian. So these are other sources for other purposes that I will let you know what to use one, or you will figure it out which one to use appropriately. Just remember here, just in the sources, go to global properties, and you can set here the wavelength, the region of like the spectrum in which you want to see. The minimum is 400 micron and the maximum is 700. This is the visible region, and that is default here. Okay. So here you can change the wavelength. Just remember that. Okay. Yeah. So now we have added, but see.
So when we need to change that?
Hmm.
When we need to change that wavelength, when I want in some another region, not visible region. So for that case, we have to change that accordingly, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you want me to change some other region you want to see? Let's do that. Let's say from some UV region to let's go into the infrared. Okay.
Okay.
And you see the uh, this this arrow is upward actually.
Okay.
This means that the light propagation direction is upward.
Propagation vector is not, I mean,
Yeah,
not towards the thin field. So we
yeah,
have to make it downward.
yeah. So what we do is we go to the geometry and geometry of the source. No, frequency, general. Here injection
Backward.
just put it backward. Okay, apply that. Now it is done, and in the geometry, let me just do some fine tuning this. X is 0.
I have a question here.
Yeah.
Okay, at first you do and
Hmm. So let me put this at 0. Okay. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, so we need to. So there is three. I mean, in this source, there are one is backward z direction, and another is towards both of the x direction, plus x and minus x. So the thing is, we have to take this source within mesh as well as FDTD region. We have to put that source. And another thing is this backward z direction. I mean, this arrow should be cover all the things. I mean thin film as well as substrate. Or this just represent the backward z direction. Nothing else.
This just represents the direction. It doesn't have anything else. So you see,
Okay. Okay.
the extent of injection, the source of injection is this. This will tell you this rectangle that you see here. So this is actually a rectangle if you see.
Yeah.
Light will fall over this entire plane.
Okay.
And this has to be extending outside of your simulation region. You see, the simulation region, so the source is extending outside the simulation region. If you see here, you see the simulation region is the small one, but the source I have extended it out.
Yeah, but for X, yeah, that is for XY view. But for XZ view, it is not beyond that FDTD and mesh region, right? It is inside FDTD region. You take.
How? It is beyond it, right?
Okay, I cannot understand the portion.
Beyond means rectangle, this rectangle has to be, the area of this rectangle has to be more than the area of this, you see this FDTD region which you are doing.
Okay. I can understand that.
You see, it should not be like this. Let me tell you. Yeah, you see now, it is,
Oh,
it should not be like this.
okay.
Okay, or it should be extending outside.
Okay, now it is clear.
Yeah, you see? Yeah, so let me do that again. Geometry, x is 0, y is 0, z is 0.85, x mean, let me put it 1, and I mean 1, and z is 1, and I have like this. Okay, so what I have here is,
For XY view, it should be beyond also, right?
yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just making it beyond the, uh, so it should be beyond the FDTD. Now the region is okay. You can do with that also. I'm just making it wider. Okay, so now it's done.
Okay. So okay, beyond the FTDD, so beyond the okay. Only the it should be beyond the simulation region. Okay.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
Yeah.
Now, what we have to do now is to add monitor. Okay, this is so thin now.
What
Uh,
are you doing this?
so I'm trying to adjust the, uh, you see, I'm trying to adjust the size so that it is properly visible.
Okay.
So somehow I have lost it. How to? Yeah, it is somewhat kind of visible now.
Oh, okay. For that case, here I have one question.
Yeah,
The thing is, you have told that simulation region should be as small as possible. Otherwise, that will take much longer time. So,
yeah. It should be small because means it should be of the order of nanometer in principle, but you have to adjust it. You just cannot make a rule that it should be small. That is the rule. It's not that you have to optimize according to your systems, whatever the capacity of computer that you have.
okay, okay. So for XZ view and for as well as YZ view, we can make it more narrow, like just after this. I mean, the sphere of gallium, right? I mean,
No.
you have taken too much longer in. I mean, I may most probably I cannot tell you in Z direction. You are taking is much longer for
Yeah,
FTT and
exactly.
means. So it can be taken much lower. I mean, narrower than this, correct?
It can be made, yeah, according to your according to your structure that can be done. So this, I cannot say you that okay, you have to take this much narrow or what. You have to look, you have to do some hit and trial kind of thing, and you have to do it.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, okay.
yeah. Okay, now I have added the monitor, the source. Now let's add monitors. So the monitor that I have added is this one called. So if you can see, this is a monitor, and this is also beyond the FTTD region. So this is also fine, but I will make it. So let me put one monitor for reflectivity. So light will hit back and get reflected. So I'm putting it beyond the source. Okay, so
Okay.
that I don't get any signal from the source itself.
Okay. So
So
we need not take it beyond the in beyond the simulation region also.
yeah, it is beyond the simulation region, but the part of it should be inside. You see, this is outside the simulation region. This means it is like covering the entire simulation region, and but this is inside. So or else how will you measure? This is inside the simulation region, but it is extending beyond the simulation region.
Okay, I got messed up. Just cancel this edit frequency domain per monitor. Just cancel once.
Which one?
I mean, just cancel this one. Edit frequency. Yeah, I can see. Okay. Now, can you tell again once, because XY view for that case monitor is, I mean, for reflectivity, that monitor is beyond all the things.
You see,
For
yeah, the
for
monitor, so you this boundary, this is beyond the FTTD region.
yeah. Okay.
You see, so it is extending beyond the FTTD region, but this plane is inside of the region of simulation.
Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, for Z axis we have to take that monitor inside FTDD region.
Yes, or else how else you measure?
Yeah,
How will,
otherwise, yeah,
hmm,
because only the simulation will be done only under this simulation region. If I took this monitor
or
beyond that, then nothing can be, we can
yeah,
see.
exactly. You see nothing. Yeah, so let me just do some setting again.
So here I did a mistake also.
Okay, now you know, right, what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put the source and let me rename it as this is the reflection monitor. Edit object and let me R and let me put it here. Okay. Now, if you go to the monitors, I put another monitor. Okay. Now below this is for the transmission. Edit object and this is for the transmission. And uh, okay. What else do I need? Yeah, this is okay, I think. Edit the geometry. This is minus 1. Sorry, minus. The same thing. We have to extend it beyond the.
Extended beyond or just same of that?
It has to be beyond the FTTD region. See?
For XY view, but the thing is, for you have taken probably minimum and maximum for XY 2 minus 2 to 2. Okay, no. Okay, just apply once.
Yeah, just. So now let us see how is it. Control. Yeah, now you see this is the
Huh.
transmission monitor and it is beyond like it is extending beyond the simulation region, but it is still inside it to take the signal. And yeah, so now we have all our
No.
setup.
One thing. For XZ view, it is still inside FDTD region.
Hmm.
XZ view, but for XY view, I cannot see the monitor.
X, yeah, you cannot see because it is not zoomed out. And yeah, so the thing is it is overlapping on top of each other, all the monitors are. That is why
Okay. Okay, that means at the edge of the surface, I mean that
yeah,
surface,
yeah, here you can see it, right?
yeah, okay, beyond, okay, yeah, beyond
Yes.
the FTTT.
The affiliated region is the small region, but I have extended this sources and monitors beyond that.
Okay, uh, uh,
You got it?
yeah, I got it.
Hmm?
I got it, and I have another question for XZ view. the transmission monitor, should it be right in beyond that? I mean, what can be told? This surface. I mean that silicon also, right? Because the power will be not power. I mean the field will be transmitted through that sphere as well as this silicon surface structure, and then we can measure that via monitor. So why you are keeping it inside that structure, silicon structure?
Yeah, we can do that in principle, but we want to check the properties of this particular meta surface for now. Okay.
Okay, only for that granules.
Yeah,
Okay, then it is okay.
yeah, exactly. Okay.
And the thing is, two things. So we have to. You said that we should set the values of dx by dz as well as frequency point. So yeah, I mean you should. We should increase the number of frequency point. Why for that? I can.
Yeah, that I have not done, that I'm going to do now. So I put
Okay.
the monitors. So now what we have to do, we have to look at the global properties of the monitors and increase the frequency points so that we get a large number of data points. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
done. So I did. Okay.
Okay.
So now we have almost everything ready. We just have to run the simulation.
And dx by dz, dx by dz value.
Yeah, that
I
will change
mean,
the mass. Yeah, so it is 0.2 kind of thing. Let's see how much time it takes. If it doesn't work, then we'll increase it.
okay. Okay. Okay.
To save it. Okay, it is taking 37 seconds.
Okay. Too small. Can you tell me one thing? Which should be, I mean, which memory should be large for this? I mean, C drive or F drive, like which drive should be large?
Which drive should we?
I mean, we have to take good memory, right, for having less time.
Uh, uh, good memory for less time. It's not that. The computational speed depends on your processor, not on your memory.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah. So the why memory is required is the number of data points that is used for the computation during the runtime. That should not exceed your RAM.
Okay. Okay.
You see, so that is why you need. So once it starts running, it can run. Look, even however long it is, it can run as long as it has sufficient memory to hold your data.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah. So let us see. So you see, it was written 37 second, but it just completed before that.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because of auto sort of. What is auto sort of? That you see, there is a particular volume of this FDTD.
uh,
Okay. In
uh,
that region, when you inject the energy,
uh,
now the simulation will run, and with as the simulation will progress, the energy will get absorbed by the PML layers, the ZX. The PML layers are on that Z direction, right? The Z planes
uh, uh,
of the FTTD. You remember the boundary condition?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So XY it was periodic, but on Z it was PML. So what will happen?
Uh,
Energy will get absorbed.
yeah.
Okay, and when the energy will get absorbed, so it will reduce. So when there is no energy, then what is there to simulate? So you
Yes.
have nothing there to simulate, right?
Uh,
So the program automatically setups when the energy becomes so low.
okay.
Okay,
Uh,
so that is why it is like you should not worry that auto setup is kind of problem or something. Okay.
okay. Uh,
Now let us look at the plot. So you want to see the reflection first. So I'm selecting this top monitor.
uh,
I went here, visualize, went to the transmission.
Transmission. Okay. Okay.
The T, that basically E cross H, that is. So
Uh,
here I got some plot. So this is the plot for reflection.
uh,
Okay. Now what you can do in this monitor is you can change the units of the x-axis. You can put it to microns. So you can play around with this and you can figure it out what this is. You can do some scalar operations like multiplication, imagine absolute value, whatever you can do. So you see, so this is how we get a plot. And now let us look at the transmission. Transmission, right click. Let me add to visualizer one only.
that means
Huh?
okay. Two things. Okay. No. No problem.
Okay, now you see this transmission is negative. Why is it? Because it is entering from the opposite direction. This is the nothing like nothing to worry about. This is so. Let me just change this transmission monitor. See, this T monitor is negative, right? So what I do is I go to the scalar operation. So let me full screen it. And
TV it can work.
okay, this is transmission monitor, and let me put in this color operation minus.
Minus.
Okay, now this
Uh,
now I have this. Uh, so we got the reflection and transmission curve, and this is what you need to show for some structure. If I give you, this is the PNG image. If you want to store it, you can export it, whatever image you want. You can put it in, export the data as text file, and if you want to process it with Python or some other program, MATLAB, you can do it. Here it is like you can direct export as a MATLAB. That's
okay.
okay.
MATLAB script. MATLAB script means the coding is automatically scripted.
Yeah, kind of. I have not used this, so I don't know much. So yeah, so
I
this is
haven't used also. So
okay.
cannot it be scripted to Python directly?
I have not used that.
Okay.
That I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So another thing that you can do is, so this is R and D monitor.
Uh,
Okay. Sometimes we may be interested in the field, what is inside this, what is going on inside the sphere. Okay.
okay. Okay.
In that case, what we can do is you can put another monitor right inside it. Okay.
Yeah.
Just here like this.
Uh,
Okay. And now, and then what you can do is you can visualize the electric field plot, like this kind of thing.
I missed that part. Just again.
Just right click here. Last time what we saw
E. We
E.
have T.
We can see EHP. This is electric field, magnetic field, and this is E cross H
Okay.
power.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is electric field. If I just so this will so this is the simulation X region and Y region. This particular square. This region is this particular square.
Okay.
inside this FTTT region wherever the monitor is there. And you can look at this for different wavelength. So here this R monitor lambda, here you can change the wavelength and see what is the field distribution for each frequency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
So we may need it sometime, but yeah. So you get, so not from this monitor, from sometimes we may need it from this another monitor that we place here. Get it right?
yeah, get it.
Yeah. So that's all I had to say. Yeah. So let me stop recording then.
Uh,
Yeah. Just stop recording.